Dr. Hazel Herrington, and I am the founder of Destiny Arise. What does Destiny Arise do? I've empowered more than 50,000 women and youth through business workshops, youth conferences, going into prisons. I've spoken in front of 5,000 men, inspiring them to become better fathers, better husbands. And I've also run soup kitchens, feeding programs for thousands of Zimbabweans homeless in the city of Bulawayo in Matabeleland. And that is why I want to speak about leadership, because a lot of people have asked me this question: are leaders born or are they made? I'd like you to know that they are both. We are all born leaders, but the reality is that we're born as leaders. As a child, when you ask a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? They'll tell you what they want to be, because they have that passion, that desire in them. And then as they grow older, they lose that passion and desire because the people around them start limiting their potential as leaders. And then they become constipated leaders. They get confused. So today I'm going to unlock your potential. You might be watching this, you're a constipated leader, you've lacked direction. And not only that, COVID-19 has changed the way that we do business. And in your business, especially as women, we need to be innovative. I'm so tired of every time they'll give an example of disruptive, innovative leaders. They're always talking about Elon Musk. They're always talking about the founder of Facebook, the founder of Amazon. Where are the women? And that's why I'm sharing on innovative leadership. So here it is. So what is innovative leadership? Well, the greatest discovery I've ever made, and in my journey as an entrepreneur, is that success in business is critical when you innovate. What do I mean by that? The key to being successful in business is being innovative. What is innovation? Well, innovation is creating solutions to current problems. It's creating solutions to old problems. In other words, you're taking your product and service, you're finding out what are the problems in your business. How can I be creative? How can I make my product different in the marketplace? And I've seen a lot of people, COVID has affected a lot of businesses and they're not doing anything. They'd rather not invest in their business. They'd rather not be innovative because they're afraid. But ladies and gentlemen, innovative leaders are risk takers. You cannot call yourself a leader if you're not going to take risks. That's the reality of business. I'm reminded of a story of Ashley Olsen. He's a director here in Australia, and he's got an amazing story. He had a farm, and one day he was driving back to his farm, and he saw an old man struggling, fixing his fence. And he stopped and he helped the man, and the man was trying to put his fence together, and it was just difficult. And then he had a revelation and an idea, because innovative leaders take an idea and they make something out of it. And that's what he did. He said, man, there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be an easier way of farming, of even fencing. He went back home, and then he told his family about his idea, and they created a clip. So you've got a fence and there's just a clip. So you stretch the fence and you clip it on. The greatest invention in fencing to date. Innovation. Creating a solution to an old problem. What are you going through in your business? What do you need to change? Are you listening to your customers? I'm reminded of the top 10 innovative organizations and 5 things that they do. Number 1, they go out into the marketplace and they ask questions. Ask their customers questions. Are you happy with our product? Is it easy to use? Is it difficult? Second thing that they do, they collect that data. After collecting that data, they start networking with new people, building relationships. I'm always telling my clients and to different organizations, are you networking? Are you developing new relationships? And as a leader, if you in your crowd, I'm talking about leadership and networks and friendships, in your network, if you are the one that's always talking and making the decisions and you got nobody to look up to, you need to leave that circle. You need people that aspire to become bigger and greater. Networks, people that can connect you to other people. What else do these massive, disruptive, innovative companies do? After networking, they make sure that they employ people that are good at solving complex problems. We need to be hiring people in our business that are good at solving problems, because one of my favorite quotes, the future belongs to those who choose to innovate and solve complex problems. Those employees that solve complex problems, we also need to encourage them to create an innovative environment in the workplace. Create an innovative environment in the workplace, and then reward those that are innovative. Reward them, promote them. Because the reality is that your most precious commodity in your organization right now are your ideas. Because of COVID-19, ideas are coming up so quickly and so fast and so cheap, because the big disruptive organizations, that's what they're doing. They take their idea, like I said, they question, they collect the data, then they go fast, cheap, and quick into the marketplace. And what are you doing? You sitting back and saying, I'm waiting. Post-COVID, things will change. COVID is not going anywhere, as far as I know. You must innovate if you are to survive. Why do we innovate? Why do we encourage innovation? Because your future is dependent on innovation. I encourage innovation, and especially for women. It is not only a male thing. Visionary leaders is next on my list on the characteristics of innovative leaders. Where do you see yourself in your organization? Are you a visionary leader? What is a visionary leader, Hazel? You're saying, I don't understand what's a visionary leader. You know, the greatest gift God gave us is the gift of sight and the ability to see. But you know, visionary leaders, they see beyond just what's around them. They see the future. Where do you see your business in 5, 10, 15 years? I constantly remind people of the story of Walt Disney, of how he'd sit on a bench and just look at nothing. And his employees would say, you've been sitting here for hours. What are you doing? And he was visualizing the theme park. He was visualizing from just being a cartoonist, Mickey Mouse, Daffy Duck. What do you see? What do you see? When you see a foot, do you see a shoe? Visionary leaders are critical in the season. Employ visionary leaders. That is critical in the season. I was talking about risk takers. Visionary leaders are risk takers. You know, in the season that we're in, you got to be willing to take risks. You got to come out of your comfort zone. I know that a lot of people, they're afraid of taking risks because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid that they'll lose their reputation and people would laugh at them. But, you know, the reality is that I read this quote somewhere, is that you can't make an omelet without breaking the shell. You know, you want to make an omelet, you got to break the shell. And that's what leadership is all about. It's about taking risks. Because leaders have a I can do attitude, I can do it. And thinking out of the box. And, you know, I've seen a lot of leaders is that they want to be popular and they want to go with the crowd. But I'll tell you this, leaders don't go with the crowd all the time, actually. Sometimes you've got to go alone and they'll catch up later. I'll tell you a personal story, is that when I told people when I was in Africa that, oh, I'm going to go into schools, I'm going to go into prisons, some people laughed at me. Even when I said I'm going to open my own restaurant, it's because I had not gone to university at that time, and they just thought I couldn't do it. And that, I mean, you may be watching this and you've got a great vision. You're a visionary leader, and the people surrounding you are telling you, you can't do it. I had to do it alone. I wrote down my vision and I ran with it. I want to encourage you, write that vision down. Go for it. And so what if you fail? I always say failure breeds experience. When you fail, you now experience on how not to do it the next time. And then you can actually start teaching and coaching people. Another solution to a problem. And last but not least, I know we don't have a lot of time today, is that we talked about the most innovative companies. What else did they do? Is that these companies are raising up their successors. You know, a confident, true leader is raising up a successor. Leadership is transgenerational. It's not about you. It's not only about the current generation. The saddest thing, because this is a conference on pearls of Africa, African women, you have to leave a legacy for the next generation. And the saddest thing is that there's a lot of African entrepreneurs, when they die, the vision dies with them. And I know you've heard the quote that says, if the vision dies, if you as a leader, if your vision dies, that's it. Everything around you dies. I would like to encourage you, start building a legacy, because leadership is transgenerational. Build for the next generation. Coach, equip. It's not only your children, but the future generations. I would like to thank the previous speakers that are empowering women in Africa. She's building a legacy. Wendy, she's building a legacy. Transgenerational. God bless her. And I'd encourage you to empower her. You know, I'm doing the same thing in Africa, Destiny Arise. We do business workshops. We equip and empower women to become the leaders that they were born to be, collaborating with microfinance companies. We're not thinking of ourselves. We are purpose-driven entrepreneurs and leaders. And that's the thing, is that true leaders, it's not about you. It's about serving others. Are you in business for yourself, just to make profits and to use people? Is greed the moral of the story? Well, shame on you. Because I'd like to believe that when we all start business, it's for us to make a difference and make a mark that can't be erased. Thank you.